I'm working on earning every obtainable trophy in the Need for Speed series. Last time we did Carbon, and today we are doing...
You are my rival.
Need for Speed Rivals was released in 2013 on both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, developed by both Ghost Games and Criterion Games, and published by EA Games. That's a lot of games! Rivals is essentially a hybrid between Hot Pursuit, The Run, and Most Wanted 2012. It looks really good, and the cars drive similar to The Run. The gameplay is obviously Hot Pursuit, and the open world thematic, the multiplayer, easy drive, and speedless are inherited from Most Wanted. The list of trophies is very straightforward. We have 26 to get and need to reach rank 60 as both a cop and racer, while the rest are related to some random events, so without further ado, let's get right to it. We'll start going through the racer side first, and it appears that we do have a story.
We are unbound.
No, you are rivals. The story is kind of vague, so let me just go through it real quick since the whole thing is told through cutscenes anyway. We play as a street racer named Zephyr, who, if you ask me, is just a fucking psychopath.
Everyone is my rival. The VRT will break, just like the cops did. A new enemy requires a sharper blade.
Every cutscene is just recordings of screens with cars racing, more specifically of the protagonist and other people trying to replicate what he does. With danger escalating on the streets, the Redview City Police Department becomes more aggressive and one of the officers gets seriously injured. The FBI introduces the Vehicle Response Team while restricting the RCPD from pursuing the racers due to their destructive actions. Because of this, one of the suspended officers goes undercover as a racer with the handle F8. Fate. The Fate of the Furious?
Family.
Causing the FBI to take an interest in him, inviting him to join the VRT. We also go undercover as a cop using a Koenigsegg Agera in order to send a message by wreaking havoc. Zephyr then issues a challenge to the racers and cops in a final battle, and at the end of it, crashes violently, either presumed dead or barely making it out. This was a very convoluted story, and I won't contest the fact that I'm dumb as a rock, but it was very difficult to follow it the first time. I had to go check it out a second time to see what was going on, and the premise of it was interesting. I just considered that the way it was told and handled wasn't the best. I genuinely think that if they had found a way to tell it through the gameplay too, it might have made a big difference, since the whole point of the game is just you leveling up by completing speedless. There's absolutely no reference to anyone in the objectives or game events. For instance, Fate is mentioned a lot, and you never actually see him in-game. All variants of the Ferrari Enzo appear, but the red one that he's driving as seen in the cop campaign and cutscenes. Now, in regards to the actual game, the graphics are just gorgeous, and what surprised me is that because we have these visuals thanks to the PS4, there's no photo mode despite Hot Pursuit having one. It's obvious that they wanted to showcase these visuals, emphasized even more by the reflections of the cars through their wet surface. So, that was weird. We also have a somewhat limited customization option, which is always welcome, performance tuning, and we can also choose 2 pursuit tech, which are weapons that we'll get to deploy against the cops or other racers. The game presents us with a choice of speedless with objectives related to racing, pursuits, or actions performed in the open world. I mostly did pursuits because despite the aggressive cop AI, I feel like that's the whole point of the game, and their challenging nature can be fun. With our first speedless completed and reaching our hideout, we also earned our first trophy, First National, for banking our first score. The limited number of vehicles is a bit disappointing though. I counted 23 and 90% of them are supercars. I mean, they're nice cars, but I'm just a sucker for tuners, and I wish we had some options for that here too. As such, once unlocked, we got an M3 GTS, went through a pursuit, and had some fun with the best pursuit tech combination in my opinion as a racer, the ESF and the Shockwave. I also realized that for some mental reason, the game doesn't allow you to pause. Despite me playing offline with my network disabled, the game stops you from taking a piss during a race. In single player! Ugh. We got to do our first head-to-head, and after we managed to finish another speed list, we returned to the hideout and received Racer Rank 5 for reaching rank level 5 as a racer. With an event completed, we reached what would become my favorite location in the whole game. This place is not only placed on a highway allowing for playing around with the cops thanks to the open area, but there's also a gas station to repair your car and recharge pursuit tech. There's also a hideout nearby allowing for a quick escape if necessary. As such, I took advantage of the spot to earn several trophies. By reaching heat level 10, we got the trophy 10 heat, and also the trophy multiplier for hitting a 10 times multiplier. This exact moment was also when I realized that the more you participate in events and mess with the cops, the more points you get thanks to this multiplier. We continued going back and forth, and eventually we met our speed points goal of 500k, returned to the hideout, and earned bigger points for banking 500k points in one go, and also Racer rank 10. The bigger points one was probably the most difficult trophy in our list, and you can essentially obtain it by messing with the cops near a gas station for about 10 minutes. At heat 10 though, things might become a bit tricky because of their aggressive nature. The annoying aspects of this game also start to become obvious, however, as the destructible objects in the environment are difficult to understand. This happened several times, and it never ceased to be irritating. As much as I wanted to keep using the BMW, apparently you can get pursuit tech upgrades by getting better and better cars. Knowing this, we got ourselves the McLaren MP4 that comes with a nice detail of putting its top up when it's raining outside. By finishing some more speed lists, we return to the hideout, earn the trophy Racer rank 20, and start our final chapter. For this, we'll need to finish the Grand Tour Hot Pursuit event, and let me tell you, it was terrible. I mean, it's a nice, intense race because of its length, and the sense of survival is felt more than anything, but there were so many issues during it that I couldn't enjoy it the way I was supposed to. The cops in the desert area stopped pursuing me all of a sudden despite them being right behind me, other vehicles popping in and out, and then another cop car left the pursuit right before the end. Why? Just why? Not to mention that what this event proved is that even though there are other racers involved, you can pretty much wreck all of them using your tech and keep playing based on the idea that you can lose a race if you're the only racer left, am I right? As long as you reach the finish line, of course, which we did in this case. We immediately start chapter 9, that's actually just a cutscene. This game really loves cutscenes, man. In which it shows that we crashed our vehicle, and thus, Zephyr's story is over. I think the best aspect about this game so far is actually the whole idea of the pursuits, which can be quite extraordinary, but it's overused to the point that the whole game is about this. By that I mean that if you go through an interceptor or hot pursuit event, you're aware that cops will be involved. You go to a race event, cops will be there too eventually. Not only that, but what I liked in the Hot Pursuit game was the fact that during races the weapons are not active because you don't expect cops to appear. Here, it doesn't matter if you're free roaming, racing, or participating in a pursuit, you can always use your weapons, making the whole game feel like a war zone, always on edge that another driver will schwab you and not be able to enjoy a good old casual race. But unfortunately, even if there was such a thing as a casual race, it would be ruined by the awful rubber banding where if you get left behind by a significant amount, the AI racers will brake to a standstill and wait for you to catch up. We'll now get to the McLaren P1 and start going for the rest of the trophies, more specifically reaching rank 60. For that, we'll need to complete speed lists, as for each one finished we level up, so we have a lot of retroactive shit to do. The problem is that this McLaren unfortunately has some engine overheating issues because the rear fans never turn on.
You serious?
Am I exaggerating for expecting the fans to actually work in a game released in 2013? I guess not even this car is a fan of this game. Sadly, things start to become worse and worse. I encountered glitches over glitches, and the immersion of the game started to decline even with its amazing graphics. So much so that we even got the ultimate bug, a game crash. I got 2 of them in my whole playthrough, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. What is a bigger deal though is the game's continuous glitchy aspect, for the love of God. I then found another funny spot on an airstrip where if you place some spike strips on the ground, the police car has no choice but to drive over them and then return to the heavens. Seriously though, this game is absurd. But I'm happy to say that the turbo makes a comeback from Hot Pursuit and the same iconic sound effect is still present. Although I feel like it's dumbed down a bit, it didn't give me the same oomph from Hot Pursuit. Regardless, the ability was useless to me, to be fair, mostly because it's one of those high-risk, high-reward kinds of things. You go fast and you can even demolish your opponents, but you can also demolish yourself in the process. With one more speedless done, we reached rank 40 and earned Racer rank 40. Naturally, the crash cams yet again make a tedious appearance, since if the cops time the cutscene right, you'll immediately get messed up again. Since I actually did have fun in this game, I attempted to earn gold in every racer event, and it looks like I succeeded. This should definitely help us in getting the Gold Master Trophy, for which we need to earn a total of 100 gold medals, so the cop campaign will be a breeze. And speaking of cops, we'll now go through a very nice race that was honestly my favorite one. Mostly because of the nighttime setting, the weather, some of the ridiculous things that happened, but just the idea that this game really nails the atmosphere quite often and can be enjoyable. Not only that, but a really nice song plays here that made this event even more entertaining, and yes, the music is yet again unsurprisingly good and fits the tone of the game.
So beautiful.
Even the original soundtrack is pleasant and gave me this feeling that it was inspired from Brian Tyler's score for the run. After some time, I found someone who was also trying to get the online trophies related to this game, and since we were able to help each other out, I thought it'd be best to get them out of the way. For the first one, we had to win a race against a friend, and as we did, we got the trophy Friendly Race. The next one had us bust a friend as a cop, so we went ahead to do just that and earned Buddy Bust. Yeah, apparently that's all that there is to do online. I mean, I'm not complaining, I do hate online trophies, I just expected some more since this game puts a lot of emphasis on playing with other people, so I'm very surprised. In a good way. We returned to our single player game mode and proceeded to have some more fun, or whatever you'd call this.
I take it back. I'm not impressed anymore.
Yeah, so the game decided to respawn me in this hill with no fucking way of getting out. I'm speechless. After we finished the last speedless needed, we returned to the hideout, very poetically by getting busted, and finally earned the trophy Racer rank 60. With that done, it's time to go for the cop campaign. As far as the story goes, it's actually the exact same one as the racer, but from the cop's perspective. When Zephyr and the other drivers start getting more aggressive, the FBI lets us go, introducing the VRT, and we're actually the cop that goes undercover as a racer. By using the Ferrari Enzo, we blast the other drivers and receive the name F8. We're invited to join the VRT, and from there on out, our goal is to bust as many racers and finally go after Zephyr. Now this last event is underwhelming, anticlimactic, and just plain fucking stupid. Like I said in the beginning, nothing in this game is directly related to the cutscenes you see. Even the event description is bust the racer. Not even bust Zephyr or take Zephyr down. Nothing. It's essentially an average interceptor event. To make matters worse, the whole event took 44 seconds. Also, we got the trophy Gold Master because at this point this was actually our 100th event in which we got gold, so it was great timing. But back to the story, I didn't like the ending event of the cop side. It just didn't feel like an ending at all. The last cutscene is triggered and shows us colliding with Zephyr, being in a critical condition because of that, and got discharged due to the reckless and dangerous driving while pursuing him. Fate then becomes a street racer driving the Enzo and sort of becoming the new Zephyr. The whole story of this game might as well be called The Fast and the Fate of the Furious. Now let's get to actually playing as a cop. Compared to the racer side, we now have 3 variants for each vehicle in exchange for not being able to customize their performance. The patrol one has better acceleration, undercover has better control, and enforcers have, if you didn't guess already, better strength and durability. Completing a specific assignment will unlock that variant of the chapter's vehicle reward. You also don't get to customize the visuals, and later I thought that maybe the undercover one allows you to do that since it's supposed to look like a civilian car, but it's not the case. With several assignments completed, once we reached our command post, we earned Cop rank 5 for reaching rank 5. We started driving the Mustang, and after we succeeded in busting several racers, we got the trophy. What the fuck is that? Registration. For busting 10 racers in a Mustang. I genuinely couldn't find anything in regards to why the fuck is this trophy written like that, other than my own theory that the person who added it had an aneurysm. Moving on. After finishing another assignment, we entered our garage and earned Cop Rank 10.
Reporting a wrecked vehicle at my location.
By busting a good amount of racers, we finally reached the 50th, and for that we received the trophy Bust 50. Not only that, but later on we also received 5 Buster for busting a racer at Heat 5 or greater. Similar to the P1, the Murcielago seems to suffer from the same engine overheating issue because this car also doesn't have functional fans. By busting a racer with a heat level of 8, we earned the trophy 8 Buster. With this action done, we finished another assignment, reached the command post and got Cop Rank 20, obviously for reaching Rank 20. We took out Zephyr in the final ridiculous event like I said before, and with that done, it's time to grind out events and assignments to get to rank 60. Because we no longer need to get gold medals, we can simply do the ones we've already finished. It was essentially a long and tedious grind, but I did do some other events to challenge myself and have some fun because the cop side really is fun. There's no risk of losing speed points. Actually, the speed points aren't usable on anything other than pursuit tech, and you get quite a lot in the end, so it's just a game of messing up with racers, especially when using the EMP and ESF. It's quite ludicrous how powerful this combination is. What the fuck did I just hit? Also, it looks like the game doesn't even know what its objectives are. One of them tells us to earn 75k in a single session. Once I get it driving, it transforms into just earning 75k. I even have 53 already, so it's clearly not a single session type of situation. It even tells you to side slam racers, but a nice rear slam works just as fine. Total sense. However, the atmosphere of this game makes a nice comeback as always because it's done so well. This mission here proves this, as the night setting and the ambience of the storm makes it so enjoyable. I even turned the music off just to take it all in. The trees do have quite a funky shake though. We completed yet another assignment, reached the command post and earned Cop Rank 40, and deep down, you know you want to, for driving 50 cumulative minutes in any Ford, which is exactly what I was trying to do by driving this Mustang despite us having that crazy Agera. We continued using this Mustang however because we now need to accumulate 50 seconds of airtime in any Ford car, and we'll do this by jumping on the 2 spots in the same highway area. Every time we do, we'll use the gas station to refill our nitros, making this quite an easy feat and earning 5432 Mach 1. Later on, I attempted to do another assignment, but I wanted to re-enter the command post and I think I broke the game. Yeah, there was nothing I could do at this point. After we restarted the game, we bought every single pursuit tech for the Agera and earned Upgrade Master for upgrading all cop pursuit tech in one car to maximum level and equip both slots. We pushed through with the rest of the assignments as well and finally earned Cop Rank 60. We have one final trophy to get, and for that we'll switch to the racer side and use the speed points we have to purchase some more vehicles. As we reached our 10th, we got Professional Collector for purchasing 10 racer vehicles, as well as the Platinum Trophy for earning all Need for Speed Rivals trophies. I think that out of all the Need for Speed games I played so far, this was one that had the most potential to be a great game. The cops are unarguably the best part and they nailed it. The pursuits as a racer made me feel like I'm playing a Dark Souls game called Need for Speed Points. You go in the open world, you do all kinds of shit, and the more stuff you do, the more speed points you get. If you don't reach your bonfire before your vehicle integrity is gone, you lose everything. High risk, high reward kind of situation, and I enjoyed this. The world wasn't the most interesting, it didn't have the same verticality as Fairhaven, nor as memorable as Seacrest, but it was large and varied. The online was... well, to be fair, there's no real reason to play online, considering the toxicity that the online communities tend to have lately, especially in a game focused so much on combat such as this supposed racing game. You won't get to enjoy it as much as you'd think, or I would assume. I personally try to avoid it as much as possible. As for the trophies, what the fuck happened? There are 26 trophies including the Platinum, almost half of them are related to racer and cop ranks, and there are 3 trophies related to Ford vehicles specifically. More than 10% of the trophies have you do stuff in Ford cars. Look, I know this was the period when they were working on the Need for Speed movie and most likely had a contract with Ford, hence why there's even the Mustang from the movie in the game, but did that contract include trophies too? Oh, and another thing, if you're looking for gold trophies, there are 7 in this game. 7 gold trophies for doing stupid shit like busting a Heat 8 racer that takes you 30 seconds. I don't usually care about the type of trophy I get except for the plat, but this game is odd from so many points of view, even trophies apparently. It's ridiculous. But what isn't ridiculous is you reaching this point of the video, so I want to say that I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments whatever nasty thoughts come to your mind. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.